Welcome, everyone. My name is Anne Marie Morales, and I am here to discuss this amazing opportunity that I have been given, first of all, and that I am offering you, and that is the Chakras of Ancient Egypt tour. With me, I have Maher Hagaag. I hope I pronounced that well. If I didn't, please correct me. He is the amazing guide that approached me to organize a trip, and I am just so honored to have been asked. And I would like to introduce him to you now. Maher, welcome.
Thank you very, very much. And thanks a lot. Thank you, Anne, for giving me the chance to be with you. And thanks for accepting the offer to organize the tour to Egypt.
Mhm.
And tour, it will be a lot more than the tour and
Yeah.
call it the activation of the chakras, and a little bit more than that. So we'll be doing many different things. And by the way, we've been together less than 2 months ago. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my, a month? It's about 6, 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was privileged to find a tour that was with like-minded people, such as myself. If you're on this channel, you know that I am a channeler and a energy master healer and spiritual being. And the second I heard about this tour, I was like, I'm going. And I just didn't let anything stop me. I didn't let anything, seriously, I didn't let anything stop me. And it was absolutely life changing. Maher, I would like you to please tell the community or whoever is listening how you got to do what you do and describe what you do.
Okay. I'm an Egyptologist. I'm a tour guide, and I do teach sometimes, and I give presentations and lectures. Simply, I grew up next to the temple of the ancient deity of Egypt, known as Bastet, which is known as the cat. I'll come to that at some point with Sekhmet relationship with Bastet. Then I was in deep love with history, with Egyptology, with the knowledge. And deeper you get in, more you're eager to learn a lot more than anyone else can imagine. And this is so important. So there is no there is no end. It's a deep well, and you get more and more and more and more out of it. And every time you get more, you find out that you need a lot more than that. So that's what got me there, and that what got me to do the job I'm doing, between uh, guiding, arranging, and organizing the whole trips, even establishing my own business, which is known as Boundless, which is, I think, the whole idea. Everybody understands what Boundless is, as there's no boundaries for anything, and there's no boundary for the knowledge and learning, and that's what I'm here for. I'm seeking the truth, or I'm questing the truth. I'm trying to learn where are things going and where things are coming from. Um, that's it. That's a little bit about me and about
And how long have you been conducting tours?
30 odd years.
30 odd years. Well, I tell you, you surely know what you're doing because everyone on my tour was so impressed with your ability to navigate the system that is in place in Egypt and also point us and take us to the most spiritually attuned sites, which is really what inspired my vision of what I would love to show people in Egypt. While we were on this trip, you mentioned the chakra points of ancient Egypt. And this is how I would love to reveal Egypt to my my people, whoever come on this trip. So, can you just very, very briefly highlight what are the chakras of ancient Egypt and like who determined that they were the chakras?
Okay, we start. There are lots of different readings about it. There are lots of different writers had written many different books about connectivity between the chakras and the ancient Egyptian temples. And some of them started uh, to look at it from a different perspective. But I'm happy with the concept and the theory that mentions that it starts with the Nile. So we have to go from the root of the Nile or the source of the Nile in Egypt, which is it lines up with the Temple of Isis, and that is where the crown chakra. So the crown. So sorry, it's I didn't mean the root, but just I meant the chakra, the crown. So the beginning it comes from the crown chakra, and that's where the start comes from.
Mhm.
And if we think about it, yes, because of the flow of the Nile comes from south to north. So the flow of the knowledge comes from south, which is the temple of Isis, the temple of Phila, all the way down to the sacral chakra and the root chakra. And we can come up to it at some point. But then the third eye, so I'll connect the temples because of their all the connectivity, and everybody gets to see it and to feel it and to see it with their own third eye in a different way as well. Get to the temple of Horus, which is the third eye. Then we come to the fabulous Sekhmet. But we will skip Sekhmet and talk about the heart, which is the temple of Luxor. That's the connection, the connectivity with the heart. And according to Chual de Lopez, for example, he mentioned it as the temple of a man because it looks like a human shape. Um, we can come to these pictures. We can share pictures uh, about it. Then the living statue of Sekhmet. Yes, I mean living, and I mean statue of Sekhmet in Karnak, which is, I cannot talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just up to everyone's how they receive their own knowledge.
My own personal experience with her was I felt heat. I just felt heat on my face emitting from this portal, this energy, this I mean it's a statue, but it's not a statue. Um, there were other people on her tour that had really mystical experiences with her. Um, just fascinating. Someone had asked me, why is Sekhmet the throat chakra? Do you want to answer that question?
Why is Sekhmet the throat chakra? Because, well, let's link the heart to the throat. Let's link the Nefer, linking the heart to the throat. If you think the heart is connected to the throat, but we always forget that. If you have a strong heart or a good heart, it's all reflected onto your own throat. And the throat is not just the wording, it's the voice, it's the deeper voice, it's the deeper knowledge as well. It is That's where Sekhmet comes in.
Mhm.
Protection. And it also, if you do it wrong, if the throat brings it out in a wrong way, there will always be a punishment. That's where the throat is coming from, and
Interesting.
the depth, and that is where we are doing. That's why it is done, and that's where things are, and that is where also the throat. You have to get baptized in the sacred lake, in the water of the sacred lake, before you start your own pilgrimage, and to
Mm.
that, according to Rundle Clark, for example, I would say he's the one that the best one that mentioned in my personal perspective mentioned something about how to tame the anger of Sekhmet, the anger of the lioness. For those who don't know how Sekhmet is depicted, Sekhmet is always depicted as a lioness. How to control the anger of the lioness by being pure, and the purity comes from within. It's not the physical purity, it is the cleansing from within. So you have to be good inside and clean in the outside. And that cleansing, when you get both of them, you change the anger of Sekhmet to the protection and the mercy of Bastet. And people forget Bastet as the cat, but Bastet is Sekhmet in the tamed.
And this, Maher, is why I love you, because you have such a beautiful way of spiritually and teaching us about all the Egyptian gods, their traits, their personalities, the myths and legends surrounding them. And the next place after well, we talked about the throat, the heart, and now the solar plexus. So where is the solar plexus in
In
terms, yeah.
this perspective, we talked about the solar plexus is Hathor temple. Hathor is just giving. She gives. She
Mhm.
gives endlessly. She gives seamlessly as well. She gives, loves giving. Hathor had been depicted as either a bovine, a cow,
Mhm.
beautiful lady with two ears of a cow,
Yeah.
or a pretty woman with two horns of a cow and the sun disk in between.
This is the Hathor
Oh,
rattle that I bought.
it's great.
Isn't it great? So if you can see, hopefully you can see a little bit of the face of Hathor. Before I went on this trip, I knew about gods and goddesses, but I was no scholar. When I stepped onto the temple of Hathor, I knew that I was there. I knew it was my happiest life. And I think I accosted you immediately. I have a very sweet picture of us walking up the stairs to the temple. Can you talk, and this is a good point, can you talk about the structures of the temple and the concept of ascension, which you're so good at talking about this?
So the structure of the temple has got many different layers, and you have to understand that you have to strive to get up to the level. There's nothing comes easy. There will be physical striving and spiritual striving. So you cannot take it just like we all know that easy come, easy go. So you have to tame and train yourself to all the different levels of. To start with the priests, back in ancient Egypt, the priests were ranked. So there was hierarchy system amongst the priests. So it wasn't exclusive for everybody. It was it wasn't it no it wasn't open for everybody. It was exclusive for some specific ranks and hierarchy priests to do specific things.
Mhm.
So it was open for everybody to do what they wanted to do whenever they wanted to do. It's very regimental, it's very structural as well. Why I'm saying that? Because there are different parts of the temples and different parts, starting from the open court. Open court that's just for the commoners, for the worshippers to come over. It's not for it's they are not allowed to go further than that. Then you get into a colonnade and another colonnade and a vestibule hall, and all of that have got different ranks of chanting priests. higher priests, and then it gets to the highest one. He's the only one that's permitted to get into the inner sanctum. And with that, because of he's the one that knows how to deal with the deities, how to deal, how to be pure enough, how to respect. So to get up to that level, you cannot start from scratch. You have to start from scratch and you have to build up the knowledge. You cannot get all of a sudden to that level of knowledge. So it is really a fabulous level of knowledge. It's religious, spiritual, and deeper knowledge of many different things.
Yeah.
So that's the layout of the temple as in general. But in all of these temples, there were some rituals had to be done. Some rituals had to be done under the ground. Some rituals had to be done on top of the ground. Some rituals had to be done on top of the parts of the temple. So the ascension, which is there are very few temples have got the staircase this way, it is in more of a spiral way, and you have to, like a Sufi dance in a way. You have to keep spinning around the oneness, keep spinning around yourself, keep spinning around the source of either knowledge or energy or the deity. You have to keep spinning, you have to strive to get up to that level and get up there and receive the knowledge.
That is
And
so perfectly aligned with our own personal spiritual journey. It's a beautiful metaphor and comparison, and it is just it's amazing how these concepts are ancient and yet we're just relearning them now. So I what I'm hoping to accomplish also, being the being that I am, is to provide for the people coming on this tour not only chakra activations, which we will do as in a group meditative form, but also we will meet. I would like to do a past life regression, group regression to our ancient Egypt selves because we've all been there. I mean, I had two really profound experiences. So I know we've all been there at one point or another. And I'd like to provide that for us. And I would also like to provide connecting with your own deity. Now, I have had, and I told you, Maher, and I know I've interrupted the flow, but it's okay. I have connected with a gentleman in the most beautiful synchronistic way. And you have to remind me of the deity that is his guidance. When we were at the foot of the Great Pyramid, I got a text from this gentleman who I'd never spoken to before, who knows me through one of my spiritual communities, saying that he had a dream, and in that dream, he heard my name in his dream, contacted me at the foot of the Great Pyramid. Now he lives in the United States. Okay. And not only that, when we finally worked together, his guide was an ancient Egyptian god. It is the ancient Egyptian god that has the scarab beetle head and human body. And that god is, what's his name?
Pepper or Kepper. Pepper,
Kepper.
Pepper.
Yes.
Kepper, the beginning.
And what's beautiful about how Maher conducts his tours is he's always teaching us, always teaching us. And he shows us the the things that make no sense, that pose more questions. And that's what I totally love about you. So, okay, from the solar plexus, we are now going to the sacrum. Where is the sacrum?
is in the Osirian,
The Osirian. Absolutely.
the greatest of the temples, the
Yeah.
temple of Osiris, the temple known as the Temple of Seti and Ramesses, but of course it's the Temple of Osiris.
hmm
And in just like in few words, Temple of Osiris has got the shaft to the well that is known as Osirian. It belongs to Osiris, and it has got beyond fabulous columns and pillars, um, red granite, bulky, weighs hundreds of tons, lined up or matching the Valley Temple in Giza, and it matches, and that's the most important thing that we need to learn, matches some of the temples in Machu Picchu. And
Yes.
where the connectivity coming from, that's a question with no answer. And how old is that Osirian? No one knows. Osirian has got, it is believed that it's groundwater, but Osirian has got water that is known for its own sacred energy.
Yeah.
And that water is the water of the Osirian. And the Osirian has got and that's a question with no answer. Again, that's one of those questions, has got the most and the neatest flowers of life, not just one. And there are loads of them carved on these columns.
Yeah.
They've been stamped as if somebody has done stencils with them.
Yeah.
But of course, they have been carved.
hmm
And on most of these columns, we've got the flower of life. And we don't have to elaborate on the flower of life. We all know about it.
And we will, when we visit the Osirian, we will be staying a couple of days in Abydos. And that was one of the most lovely parts. I mean, the trip was incredible. But what was so beautiful about Abydos is that we are actually in an Egyptian village and we get to see the beauty and the simplicity of the life of the really the average Egyptian and how many years it has remained the same. These are timeless. And for us Westerners to see what we would consider, well, I don't consider it meager by any means. I see it as a pure way of life. I think our way of life is much very artificial, and it just created a great perspective in my mind about the beautiful country and people of Egypt, which. Again, you do such a beautiful job talking to us and educating us about this. So now we talk about the root chakra. Tell us about the root chakra.
It cannot be better than the Great Pyramid.
Yeah.
The pyramid is, I've got not enough words to talk about the Great Pyramid.
Yeah.
Pyramid when we are inside. So we all do what we need to do or
Mhm.
what are told to do. Um, and even some people couldn't get in, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. But get into the Great Pyramid. It is I don't want to use a term like the icing on the cake, but yes, yes, it is. It is the cherry in the icing, sorry. It could be the Great Pyramid, the visit. It's
It,
not a visit.
yeah. And that is just, there's not enough words, and I'm not even going to elaborate because once you're there, it will change your life. I am absolutely sure of it. It changed my life for sure. And this is just really the skeleton of our trip. There is so much more to this amazing 2 week trip. that we haven't even discussed here. So I would like to just leave that there because I want you to anticipate and really be in wonder as I was when I was there. Um, so, what should people do if they are serious and excited about coming?
Can I just add something?
Yes.
The vessel.
Yes, 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 yes. Let's talk about that. Absolutely.
So I'm sorry not to answer the question, but as the vessel is
Yes.
our private yacht. It is more or less like a yacht on the Nile, without any engines. We have the tugboat towing us from one place to the other, and spending the nights sheltered by the sky. And it is a floating hotel. Don't get scared. It's a floating hotel, and I think Anne can talk about the size of the cabins and is it nice? Is it big? Is it small? Is it decent? Food is made by made fresh from scratch on meal basis, not even daily basis. Nothing is processed. It's all organic. It's all made from scratch by the chefs or the chef on the ship. Also, the we dock next to any island, no matter what it is, a chance to go out and meet locals, mingle with locals, see their own life. And in 99% of the cases, they would welcome you into their own houses and become one of the members of the family in 5 minutes. And they are open up, and their own welcomeness is beyond words.
Yes, I totally agree with you. The hospitality, the love of the local people was just so beautiful. It's called a daiba. How do you call it?
Dahabia.
Say it again.
Dahabia.
Dahabiya. All right, Dahabiya. It is first class all the way. I mean, it was comfortable. Uh, it was just so much more than I could ever have dreamed of. The peace, the beauty of the Nile River was worth every step of this trip is a memory to last a lifetime. And I just want to really, really encourage you if you feel just answer the call. If your heart is saying, I want to go, then go. Let the universe provide, put it out there, keep your excitement high. I will tell you, and I'll say it at another time, I'll explain my own personal challenges. I never doubted. I never feared. I left my mom for 2 weeks. She's 99 years old. She could go any second. But I was 1,000,000% trusting that everything is going to work out, and it did. So it is, I'm telling you, get excited about this. And just so we can wrap this up beautifully, what would be the next step for people?
They contact you or contact me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
think we can leave my email address, but they can contact you, and then we'll be all on the same page. There will be some $500
Deposit.
deposit as
Mm-hmm.
to show seriousness, because of we have to start booking many different things, the vessels, the hotels, way in advance, so to
Mm-hmm.
guarantee that we get the great standard of service. Plus, we're going to have 3 private visits. And the 3 private visits, it means that the whole archaeological site will be opened just for us. We forgot to talk about the Great Sphinx. Between the pose of the Sphinx is one of
Mm-hmm.
them. The Temple of Isis, with its own greatness, with its own righteousness, with its own energy, with its own love, that's a temple of love. And Isis is the goddess of love. So we're gonna do Isis, and the Temple of Isis is an island on the Nile. So imagine that we're sailing down to the island in the middle, not in the middle of the night, in the very area, and by the crack of the dawn, and we do that and just spend 2 hours in every one of these sites.
It's
And
it's uh,
we own
absolutely amazing.
we
Hmm.
just privately. Also, we have the Great Pyramid for ourselves for 2 solid hours. Uh,
That is priceless. It's incredible. Really, really amazing. So yes, contact me and I will give you all the details, all the particular details. So we are planning this for January of 2027. We need this time, and it's beneficial to have this time to plan, to allow for arrangements, to allow for the financial arrangements to happen. The beauty of Egypt is that there's a big bang for your buck. Okay, there's really a lot for your money that you get here. And I just, I, I can't tell you how excited I am to do this journey with you, Maher. So you are very, very welcome. Go
and
ahead.
me excited as well. Thank you very, very much, Anne.
Mhm. Well, for some of you may or may not know, but I do have a degree in art history. That is what I studied. I uh, did learn a little bit about Egypt during that time, not very much because I focused on something else in my degree. But this, for anyone who loves history, for anyone who is spiritual, you will you will leave changed forever. So thank you, Maher, for your time. I so appreciate you. I hope I have generated a great deal of excitement and interest. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. Any last words, Maher?
I love you. That's all.
Oh, I love you too, honey. I just, there was just something so beautiful about your spirit and your energy that yeah, I'm so glad that we are in contact and
Thanks for
hopefully do more things.
connected. And since you told me that you've been in Dendra Temple, in the Temple of Hathor, and we knew it. And just like we're here to answer any questions, I know that there will be loads and loads and loads of questions. And me and my team will always be answering questions no matter what. And I think, yeah, we have a company called Boundless Holidays. It's www.boundlessholidays.com. And my email, I think Anne will pass my email by the end of this video. And
I will tag everything below, and I have a section in my website dedicated to this trip. So thank you, Maher. Blessings to you, and thank you everyone for joining me. I look forward to hearing from you.
bye, everybody.